contingency. So Shraj has stated clearly that there were contradictory statements, there were misleading statements, and indeed, the eminent clergymen were misled. You recall that revered clergymen like Archbishop Nicholas Zanka Williams, based on their meeting with the president, then stated publicly that, look, we are not using public funds, so the criticism should, pipe down. Shraj has stated clearly that
Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa, this man has been saving this country in so many different ways. To the extent that the National Cathedral, and say like a $58 million, and in the not knowing say Sika and Keko National Cathedral ni muni naye $312 million US. Yes, $312 million US. And I say in Keko National Cathedral. Now, on this National Cathedral issue, and I say so far a friend of Reverend Kusi Boatin, which according to Okudzeto Ablakwa Chirema money, and I say Yamini pay say why you Ochia payba ono angase muna wodi ade nanimuno. Yes, it's a chair payba kumano. And then the other pay will go to the different name. I know that one diplomatic passport and so. Concerning this issue, because we are a little bit confused, we say, men of God, yakase mundi adiwe enemy. It seems like this man of God now, komoma sorry bampunye. So are these pastors going to tell us say bonsam and I say yeding? So according to Shraj, Ochirema, asema na Okudzeto Ablakwa, de to papa so Reverend Kusi Boatin na allegation. Now, with this story, we made it emphatically clear. But Okudzeto Ablakwa afi na omenye hu say bi asem na court ne kan no. Sometimes, like it is not meaningful. Like how? Because according to the court report, the allegations now Okudzeto Ablakwa ekani na aye no kwe. And then according to the report in Sumayehu say, in fact, the National Cathedral on its own, Sikebi Ekoko so ne ade ni na no. Illegal. And then this man of God eka kire court ne say omo kobo obosia 2.6 million e de beye sam nyoma bi. Up to now, ye discane ye den. Asofofo no ehu ba bi ade ni ye den. F5. The National Board of Trustees, I just na edi ade we na ho koneba, aye nna nso enim say asofofo. According to this man of God, Chiremu ade na omuye ye ni na no, omu meet omukoi na no. There was nothing like minutes. But meanwhile, ye na enim say even a sorry meeting kra na ye local kra ye will be o chere di besi wa so dem. And I say asem we besi o meeting na se bia. Ye was secretary I was wo chere. According to this man of God, omu chiremu a omu anchire minutes bia. What is this? And then where at all are we going? These are the men of God that we entrusted our monies to for them to lead and then help us to build the National Cathedral. In fact, the National Cathedral was like a private promise. And on the President Akufo-Addo na promise. But why are we the ones to be punished? Ahanum ABJ show kai so be subscribe afin so we are share link in my for and then you leave your comment. Yenkoti asema Okudzeto Ablakwa de tu jam.
Boatin petition, but it was about the National Cathedral project. Okay. The fact that there were grave violations of our procurement laws. The fact that due process was not followed. The fact that we don't have value for money, so far as this project is concerned. That so much has been spent on this project, and all we see is the world's most expensive pit. Then there is the second aspect, which relates to the double identity of Reverend Victor Kusi Boatin, Kwabena Edujemfi, and the conflict of interest linked to that. Okay. Because remember that this whole matter about Victor Kusi Boatin and Kwabena Edujemfi relates to some payment that the National Cathedral of Ghana Secretariat made to a company known as JNS Talent Center Limited. Okay. And my parliamentary oversight revealed that apparently, unknown to all of us at the time, it's now public knowledge, that Whilst he was at the National Cathedral as Victor Kusi-Boateng, he owned that company. He's director to that company, one of 3 directors. The 3 directors are Johannes Eshen, Sheila Eshen, Kwabena Edu-Jemfi. It is now known, based on the work that I did, that it's him, the same person having a dual identity. So I'll come to the Victor Kusi-Boateng aspect. Okay. And so I want to begin with the legal compliance issues surrounding the project. Okay. Now, based on the preamble you gave, whether I have a bruised face or not, let's read from page 63 on what Shraj itself concludes about my petition. Page 63 in terms of the conclusion. Shraj says that in conclusion, the complaint is justified in part at the end of investigations. The claim of conflict of interest relating to the 4th respondent is without merit based on the results of investigations, whilst the allegations of breaches of mandatory procurement provisions under the Public Procurement Act, Act 663, as amended by Act 914, have been justified. The Commission takes the opportunity to express its gratitude to the parties, especially the complainant and his lawyers, for the cooperation extended to the Commission during the investigation. Dated at the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, Old Parliament House, John Evans at Mill Street, Accra, this 22nd day of November 2024, signed by Dr. Joseph Whittle, the Commissioner. So, contrary to the propaganda out there, that I have been thrown out, everything is lost, and all of that, you know, it has to be treated with the contempt it deserves. Shraj itself says that my complaint succeeded in part, largely on the procurement issues. Then let's come to the summary of the key findings contained at page 158, as I deal with the first category of my petition. These are the key findings. Shraj has determined that 1, the National Cathedral of Ghana is a public property held in trust for the Republic of Ghana by the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. 2, the Board of Trustees, directors of the National Cathedral of Ghana are public officers. 3, government at the inception of the National Cathedral project made contradictory statements regarding the source of funding for the construction of the National Cathedral. So you recall when President Akufo-Addo stated that this is a personal pledge to God and that he will not use public funds. We found out later, I intercepted documents from government that on the blind side of Parliament, without recourse to the Constitution, copious amounts of money had been withdrawn without parliamentary approval. And you know that now that is confirmed. When Ken Ofori-Atta appeared before us in Parliament, he sought to hide under a contingency vote that he was using discretion. But clearly this project cannot fall under contingency. So Shraj has stated clearly that there were contradictory statements, there were misleading statements. And indeed, the eminent clergymen were misled. You recall that revered clergymen like Archbishop Nicholas Zanka-Williams, based on a meeting with the president, then stated publicly that, look, we are not using public funds, so the criticism should, pipe down. Shraj has stated clearly that there were contradictory statements. The president misled all of us. 4, the Supreme Court did not rely on the Attorney General's assertions that no public funds will be used for the National Cathedral project in arriving at its decision in the case of James Kwabena Bonfe and the Attorney General. 5, the contract awarded to Ribadi Company Limited for the construction of the National Cathedral was in the sum of 312,394,049 United States dollars and 53 cents. So we now know that this project, which had begun, the first announcement was $100 million. We now know, based on Shraj's work, that it's a $312 million project. Let us emphasize that the work that we have done, all of us, the Ghanaian people, civil society, everybody, demanding accountability so far as this project is concerned. We have saved the taxpayer over $250 million because that is what they were intending to spend. Remember that We were able to stop them.
This was the initial contract sum.
Yes, we were able to stop them at $58 million when we saw that, look. And if you read Bishop Dakiwad Mill's resignation letter, he said, look, he could no longer be part of this. They have built magnificent edifices for far less. And so much money. At the time he resigned, they had spent about $30 million. And he said all he was seeing was a hole. So he can't take it any longer. Shraj is confirming that. 6, the contract was awarded by the Board of Trustees to the contractor without recourse to the concurrent approval by the Central Tender Review Committee, a key requirement of the Procurement Act having regards to the contract sum. 7, the National Cathedral of Ghana did not strictly comply with the rules of public procurement provided for under Act 663 as amended by Act 914 when it purported to select and award the contract for the construction of the National Cathedral to Rebadi Limited. Another confirmation, you recall that more than 2 years ago, I did an RTI request to the PPA, asking them if they knew about this project, if they had granted approval. The PPA responded that no approval. Shraj has gone into that, interviewed the PPA. There's a lot of communication they have attached, and it's been confirmed. Indeed, when the National Cathedral Board and Secretary appeared before Shraj, when you read this report, they said that they thought that because it was started at the president's personal pledge and it was not really public, they didn't need to go through the procurement authority. Shraj pointed out to them that that response is contradictory because when it came to the consultant, they went to PPA for approval. So, quite a double standard. Shraj did not understand the explanation. Even though Shraj says that even with the procurement of David Ajayi, the consultant, they use the emergency provision under the law. Shraj did not agree that that is a proper use of the law. But Shraj says that at least for that one, you made an attempt, even if you abuse the law, you made an attempt to go through procurement. How come when it comes to the construction, Rebadi, the contractor, moving to site and receiving all of these sums of money, we now know they've received, well, they haven't received all the money. There's been a lot of diversions. But a contract that they were going to receive about $312 million of public funds, no procurement. So Shraj did not buy the excuse by the board and the secretariat.
So just hold on. Let's clarify something. The services of the consultant was secured before the award of the contract.
Yes.
But when it came to securing the service of the consultant, David Ajayi, the Board of Trustees, knowing very well that it was a personal pledge of the president and it had nothing to do with public funds, still saw the need to use the emergency clause and go to PPA for approval.
For single sourcing.
For single sourcing. But when it came to the contract itself, after the procurement of the consultant, they realized that it was a personal pledge to God and they didn't need PPA.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And Shraj says that, look, they are not buying that when you read this report.
Right.
I continue with the summary of findings. Finding number 8. The contract awarded Rebadi Company Limited for the construction of the National Cathedral is illegal and void ab initio. This is explosive. It's illegal. So all the monies they've collected, they ought to be refunding it. It's illegal. The contract is illegal and void ab initio. Damning. Very explosive. 9, it says that the procurement breaches that occasioned the award of the contract to Rebadi Company Limited raises reasonable suspicion of corruption and corruption-related offenses.
Oral number 1.
Yeah. Then Shraj continues to make further observations. The first observation Shraj makes is the shocking levels of lack of documentation.
Okay.
He says, 1, the commission knows with great concern the informal nature surrounding the processes leading to the transfer of the money to the National Cathedral by the 5th respondent. And this is the 2.6 million. It talks about administrative lapses at such high positions should not be countenanced. Good corporate governance requires that minutes of directors' meetings ought to be taken and kept in a minutes book. This is to ensure that the documentation of key issues discussed at meetings. Unfortunately, both the National Cathedral of Ghana and the Fifth Respondent Company failed to take minutes at meetings under which the issue of the financial assistance was discussed.
So they are saying that there are no records of board meetings with respect to that 2.6
that 2.6 million, which they now claim was a loan they were paying back.
Yeah, so there ought to have been records of a meeting that agreed that provide us the loan, let your company give the loan, this is the amount. They could not provide that.
They could not provide that. Okay. And yet, Shraj
concluded that
it is a loan.
Although he didn't see any evidence.
He didn't see any evidence. Okay. He concludes that it's a loan. Okay. So let's buy their story.
You don't agree with that one?
I don't agree with that. So I'll come to that. That is in the second category. I'll come to that.
No, I think the most important thing is that Shraj itself is saying that there is no documentary evidence of any decisions at the level of the trustees.
Because let me read page 162. The National Cathedral Board, they told Shraj that, quote, our modus operandi is that we agree among ourselves and do not take minutes of directors' meetings, unquote. Yes. And Shraj continues.
Please read that again.
They say our modus operandi is that we agree among ourselves not to take minutes of directors' meetings.
Who's saying this? The board of trustees?
Yes.
Of the National Cathedral?
Yes, page 162. It's available online. Everybody can go and read it.
That's Okudzeto Ablakwa. Yes. I feel na watch it and say me say and some na walk and yes be our boo. They are all true. So on one munu like on say the entire at the end of the day or say court in Becca sign. It is an allegation. Reverend Kusi Boateng. But you know, at the end of the day, kaye kran and kaye de and Quebec in Yami Afe. But most when Yami Aframu, my Yami Juma. Why are you people robbing us? Or the prophet will say that do not touch my anointing and then do my prophet no harm. Yes, we will do our prophet no harm. So that's the 58 million expensive hole. Because the prophets, we can't do them any harm. Ahanum ABJ show Kaiso be subscribe. So we are sharing link in my and then you leave a comment with our CP.